All right, so we're gonna talk about final project, right? Part 3 for search for a person with the BST. Okay. So let's look at, we have done first part, which is create a person, right? We already create a person profile with a node and everything. We can actually use this in this part now. Like when you sign up, you create an account, right?
Is this part 3 or part 4?
So you can look at a simple like social network. Part 1 that you create an account, you sign up, right? You log in, right? Now part 2, you can just start to use your own data structure, right? To store those account person. You log in, you search, you got it, right? You authenticate if you have it in the data structure. And part 3 is now. Let's modify. Let's say we're going to do person. So what we want to see is we want to find this person. Like, is this person nearby you? Okay, like a network, right? Of person. We want to find a person is nearby you. Okay. So, like this one I used to do with the search for location of hospital. Like for example, let's see. An example could be an application that I have me and team of student help. Like we try to find a hospital, right, nearby, right, nearby you, and in the map. So you can look at each balloon like a person, right, on the profile that we create, right?
So all those addresses are custom input before?
Now you can go to the location. You can see details like the name of the person, phone, address, location, lat and long, where the person is. Okay. All right. So that's give you an idea now, right? Instead of hospital, we just going to be like, you can go to the location of that person, see the details of the person, right? And how do we get the details? We already have from your A1, right? Profile, right? So technically, you need to modify your, you don't have to create, right? You already have your person class. So you're going to modify a person class, right? With the following attributes. So you already have the name of the person, so we don't have to do that. Do we have address already? All right, so let's add the address then. Right, so by adding, right, you don't need to remove the username password you already have. So where I say, let me do this. I'm going to make it faster a little bit by just find replace in Word. Use word editors, that I think it's faster. So where it's going to be hospital, we just going to replace with the object name. We're going to do person, right? All right, so we're going to add person address, city, state, zip, and person location. So now at this point, we can hard code it, put a lat long. Okay, you technically can maybe use your address, right? Your home address or whatever, Mr. ABC, right? Because normally if you share location on your phone, we can keep tracking that, right? Of the person. Okay. So now, but at this point you just use your address lat long or no address or somewhere else, then you can see, right, the group of person around the area, right? Person phone, person image. Okay, we already have image, right? Profile on A1, right? Image of person, correct? Yeah. Make sure if you don't have, just add that. All right, so we're done with the first object, person. We already have that, just modify it. Now the second part. So far, when you create a person, you have to go through GUI that you have, right? Now we technically can load the list of person, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a Google Doc, Excel spreadsheet, okay? And I want pretty much everyone to put, you don't have to put your actual, if you don't want to share your actual address and profile, right? But what I'm going to do is I want you to put information, okay? So let me create let me see, I may have, yes, and then we can modify this one. So these are the data that I need, okay?
You have one of those for us, right? We can just implement.
Yeah, but this is for hospital. Now, technically, we can just replace this with the name, right? The name. That's what I need you to do, and change the image. This is image of the hospital. Like change the image of a person with that name. Or technically, maybe we can link to maybe Facebook link or whatever.
It's possible.
Right? Replace with a Facebook account. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna copy this. Like say I create a new doc, right? And I'm gonna share this to you. And I probably need your help to change the name, right? Replace the hospital to the person name, right? I mean, if you want, you can just get the superstars, like maybe what's his name? The president, Donald Trump. Yeah, get Donald Trump's account and put his name and put location White House. That's one person. Make sense? And but we also need to add more columns for the missing column for A1. Like we have a username or whatever, right? Username, password or whatever, right? Correct? Let's see. Let me add it now then. Then we have the pattern.
You should add it to a new one.
Right. And then what's this? Is it first? What's the White House address? First capital? Is that? I'm sure it's first. All right. No. Oh, the capital is the first. Sorry, the capital the capital is the first, but
1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Pen SY, right? SY or SY Pennsylvania.
How to spell Pennsylvania.
SY, right?
Yeah.
Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, D.C. 20500. Okay, now I probably need to get the that long. So latitude, right? And longitude. That's lat. And the long. Am I doing the right one? Yeah, I have to do it on this one, not that one. Alright, so can you tell me what are the attributes that we need to add?
Home manager.
Now from A1.
Wow.
We're gonna add his Facebook page.
That's
Right.
nice.
So, like I said, you can put,
website just put his Twitter.
huh?
Yeah, put
The
his
website
Twitter.
just put his Twitter.
Yeah, his Twitter is so much interesting.
His Twitter?
Yeah,
Okay.
he tweets
Yeah,
every day.
that's where he stays in
Every single
contact
day.
with the people, you know?
Yeah, it's very
That's how he likes to inform us.
informative about what's going on.
The real Donald Trump.
How do I get?
They got-
Is it this link?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Why it's so long? Okay, so we just do both then. All right. So, like I said, you don't have to use your. You want to use your. You want to be a superstar. That's fine. You can be making any superstar on this list. You gotta test that profile, right? Are we able to get a real API location of these people? Do they share? Not sure. Search for that. Let me know. Maybe we can know where their location and update real time. Get the API, right? But now I construct this for now.
Companies,
They track you
maybe.
down.
GPS track their phone.
Yeah, like the location of your.
What are you trying to find? President location.
All right. So now. A1. Go back to A1, right? What are missing columns that we don't have?
There's what, profile photo, password.
Social security number. Data proof.
Okay. Now you start to say that. So
Or email. Is email up there?
okay. Email, right? Do you know Mr. Tom email?
You just look at his email.
Huh? Really?
Yeah. And
I mean, get out of your Twitter.
Huh?
Probably respond.
yeah.
How do we get emails? Do we Trump at whitehouse.gov?
J. Trump, how about that?
Huh?
Yeah, that one.
Fake one.
There's no email.
It does not.
You know what? Let's look at the source code. Here.
Because, you probably get spam. So, Professor, you can understand everything on this page right here?
Yes.
Everything?
Yes.
Damn.
I mean, you could be a science teacher.
Yeah. I be looking at that sometimes. Like, trying to get a certain grade.
Does it remind you of Java actually?
Here we got his Facebook, his Twitter, his Instagram, and everything.
Okay, you should put it all. You should put it all on.
So is this PHP or is this HTML?
HTML.
Yeah,
But
you should become a hacker.
It could be PHP about it. I
You
mean,
make money.
this technically, yeah, is the CMS.
Like Java.
It's pretty much PHP, and then when you look at source code, it just convert back to statics. Yeah. Yeah, this is all. Yeah, this is the dynamic page. Alright, so come back to, I guess we can just make up for now. Okay.
Pretty funny if that actually can do that.
Alright, so email, what else?
Email, phone number, gender.
Phone number, gender,
Social security.
Date of birth.
DOB.
Username and password.
What is their birth?
Password. Just a user.
June 14, 1946.
Either.
Okay. So you may notice that I didn't add the column label because I don't want to have an issue when you read the file in. Okay, but make sure you know what I mean right there. This is date of birth, right?
So are you gonna show us how to?
So for social and what?
Password, social and password. I don't think you can put that.
Right, I'm not going to put that.
So we're gonna access this Excel.
Yeah.
That's what I want to learn how to do.
I'm thinking about, for now we can make up one because we want to test logging in too, right? If we don't have the password, then we cannot test then, right? We can just make a password as password for now, right? Everyone has the same. So this could be username like the Trump, right? So remember that's username, okay? And password just password for now as a default, right? Everyone can have the same, okay? Because this will be like mock-up, right? Data anyway. So to make sure we have everything filled in.
So we're gonna be able to parse the details of the user inside the Excel. Inside the sheet.
This is going to be social. Okay, just something. Right. Anything else that we're missing?
Profile picture.
Yeah. You must have just get into Instagram at this point.
So it's gonna be, yeah, just the profile picture. It should links to an image. Like it's gonna be easy with the link. Like you can just copy the image address, right? So I get to his JPG. See that? Okay. All right. So we pretty much going to need your help. I'm going to share this to you guys, and you're going to do the rest. Then we have a lot of data. Make sense?
That's a lot of data.
So how many people we have? Maybe we should do like 5 each.
Actually, like 3.
Wait, make 5 people each?
Each person make 5.
Three for now.
Oh, I can do that.
Yeah, you can add your 2 if you want.
Okay.
Counts as extra credit, right?
Yeah.
One real. You want to put yourself up there.
Come on, we need extra credit.
I don't want to.
No, this is for you to use.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have to do by yourself.
It's alright. Everyone has it already.
You see that you can.
Don't worry.
Everyone just help to create that. That's faster. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm sharing this to, this is called what? Person list, okay? Now I share to everyone.
Can you just go in the Chrome?
You can edit, okay? And you should be okay now. I don't. Okay. Now you can try to access now the list, and you can.
Yep.
Hmm.
You just did.
I just share to everyone, to your Nova email.
You want to post it on Blackboard?
Yeah, just in case people don't know along like what is there.
Oh. Alright, so we get a list. I'm going to send announcement again on Blackboard to make sure everyone can access to the list. Okay. So final project A3 Excel Google Doc.
Yeah, that's what I did too.
Are we gonna use a library? Or we're using the Excel.
Alright, so let's come back to talk about that project, right? Now, so we're done with the first. Now, second, you're going to create a GUI to load Excel file containing the list of person. Alright, so it's good. You have to use table view. Alright, now we not require you to stick with JavaFX. If you want to use like JavaFX is table view, right? So let me show you. It's gonna look like this. You load in, you have the row and column. See that? You have an option to add another person. But once you load that Excel, it's going to populate onto the table format on your application. Okay? Make sense? We try to load that data, right? Like, you don't have to, if you use Java, use table view, right? But if you plan to use web application, you don't have to use table view. Okay? That's why that's not restricted. Okay? But for now, I'm going to just mention about how to use table view first. Okay? Like, let's see if we use like Android table view. That's another one. We can look at the layout. But we will, like I said, it depends on the platform that you try to create it on. Okay? We can talk about that because some of you use Android, I know, for the Fire project.
What if you're gonna use Android? Is there like some alternative? Or is that everything?
Oh, you can pretty much you load the data and show on your phone, right? On your phone interface. But this one is for on the desktop, right? So you need to create that UI. This UI show the list once finished loading. Okay. Now the GUI require you to have table view, right? Text field, okay, what I mean is we're going to create something like search like this. This is like table view. See that? Like I said, if you use web, that's the table view, right? This is pretty much loaded from the Excel sheet that I show you for the hospital, right? Make sense? And it's going to contain a text field like that I can search by latitude and longitude, right? Like if I want to grab this info, let's try, and then come back. And then you just type and search, like if it match, it should show the result. Make sense? So this is like the search field. Like now, it doesn't match anything. So it doesn't show right? Make sense? Still loading. All right. So now, this is the text field that I'm talking about. Okay. And you add event listener to it. Just like when I hit the search like button, like the magnifier, right? Okay. I probably broke it already. I make it down when I search that. So now, you search for when it's returned, it's pretty much just return a location because we have lat long. That makes sense. But we talk about search again. We've been learning the structure now, right? Once you get that key, that's just like you search for an object in your linked list. Make sense? So if we talk about linked list, you pretty much just efficiency of that is going to be about n. You go to the beginning to the end, right, to find this person and return the object. That object pretty much just display on the GUI, right? Let me go to this one. So like once I found, I can get like that pretty much an object GUI, right? With an image, right? Like with the hospital image. See that? That makes sense? So pretty much you can use this as your guideline. You can go to crowdsafe.com. I mean, I have a more enhanced version on staging.crowdsafe.com.
Wait, can you put down the announcement so you can check out the example?
Sure. So now, like I said, if you plan to do web, you can just use this to help as a guideline. Okay. But you should at least have the minimum of Java FX, right? Table view. And you get extra credit from doing like Android and the web application. Okay. But takes the JavaFX, this is just required. Okay.
How much extra credit?
It's gonna be a lot more because a lot more work. So I already have some extra credit for you already. Now when you search, you see that I can search by lat long, by the name, by the city, and by the phone. You see that? Now we just do lat long, right? But if you do by name, city, and the phone, then you get 10% more. This is, I'm telling you, this is easy for that 10%. And we can read data from the URL. Oh, this means that you have to create an API. That's another 10%. Like now we just load from Excel, right? Okay. You can actually read directly from the URL. I'm not sure. I never researched on. You might be able to do it directly from the Google Doc. Okay, you can research on that and let me know how you find out. But okay. So let's just take this one down and put like web application. I mean, the reason I put this one is I want you to focus on the design, the GUI with the SCI principles. Meaning what? User-friendly interface. Make it simple and easy to use instead of design not good, not easy to use. Make sense? So that's why I guess I want to keep that way, because sometimes you just do the minimum to just pass. But you just put a letter F4 to make it looks nice and easy to use, right? Then you get 5% more. That should be easy too, right? And now, like if you do web application, so web application should give you more. Okay. I'm talking about like 20%. But of course, you see that it depends. If you never do web, it's going to take you a long time to do. But if you do web, you pretty much already know how to do this. Okay, so if you never try, then you could, but it's going to take you a long time. Okay, like phone app, right? Could be Android or iOS, so that's also 20% more. It should be just 10, but I just want to encourage a little bit. All right, so that's the question about extra credits. Now, when I put a key and search, instead of searching using a linked list or efficiency n, we're looking for at the minimum of log n. Or better, right? Now we see that whenever you use the log n, it's going to be binary search tree, right? Okay, so in this assignment, I want to hit a little bit. Or like hash map.
Oh, we can use hash map.
Like, but you have to implement your own BST and your hash.
Oh, BST hash.
Like we're looking for efficiencies, right? Efficiency like big O, right? Like big O of 1, right? For hash map. Or just try to minimize the big O, right? So I want you to think about minimizing the big O when you search and you construct too. Remember when you load the data from Excel, right? When you load the data from Excel, you pretty much you have to create a node for each row that you read in, right? Just like insert or add to your data structure, right? So each row you have to create a node, add, and you construct the. If you use BST, you just construct the BST right there. Okay. All right. So the third UI requirement, pretty much I just show you just the result. It could be the pop-up, right? Text area or pop-up, like the details like that, right? Pretty much you already have that on your A1, right? The profile page. Remember that, right? So display the result, right? Search result. So, like for example, click on each row from the display table, will pop up detail page for each person. You just seen that. All right, so that's pretty much the requirement for A3 for GUI and additional modifying of your person class. Now, the data structure itself, if you plan to use BST, so these are the abstract, right? The function or operation or the method that you should have, right? Like what are the functions that we want? Add, remove, contains, is empty, size, toString, get, reset, and get next, right? We talked about that already. That's just now how you implement it in BST version, right? All right, so requirements, right? So you're going to create person object by row. Like I said, read the row in, create an object. Read the row in, create an object. Add appropriate exception, right? Create BST interface. You need to have an interface, right? Run unit tests for each of the BST operation. Integrate person list modules to create account modules from assignment 2. So pretty much just integrate A1 and A2 into now. Your A1 you have object. A2 you have your data structure when you sign in, right? Now after you sign in, instead of now what you do, you show the profile, right? Instead of that, you show this map. But you don't have to do map yet because that's the next one, the graph. You can just show this page, right? After you log in, you see this page with a list of the data that you loaded. Make sense? Okay. And then we talk about graph. That's the next one, right? So that means this, okay? The login and see that page. The application will support a search for person information. Like you hit the key, search, get result. All right, now we have to construct a BST, right? So let's talk about this is a person. Let's see. Let's talk about how we're going to construct BST. Now this is going to link back to your fourth assignment, okay? Because remember we're going to do the theory like finding people that has the same, like in when you sign up for an account for Facebook, right? They're gonna ask you what do you like, music, right? Sports, right? Then they use that as the key to link people in the same, right? Same topic. So that's why when we construct, we have to think about this key. Make sense? Like if I said zip, that means I'm going to find people that live in the same zip code. That makes sense? Because on assignment 4, after you construct this, we have to create a network of people that link to you using graph. We're going to talk about graph data structure, okay, based on the criteria here, right? How you construct this. Make sense? So for now, I'm going to leave it as a zip code as default, okay? And if you feel like you want to add more criteria, right? When you create a profile, that's going to be an extra credit. Just like Facebook, you add the criteria and you use that criteria. Make sense? To construct. And then you can link them all together. Okay. Alright, so that's pretty much your A3, and these are resources that you can use. Okay. I'm gonna post this up online.